The crowd was screaming, the lights went out, and suddenly, the Kyocera Dome in Osaka fell into complete silence. For a split second, it felt like time had frozen. Then a single spotlight flickered on. There he was, Jin. Standing tall, his presence alone was enough to make the entire arena tremble. And when his voice broke through that silence, the dome erupted. Tears, cheers, laughter. It was pure magic. But what happened that night wasn't just a concert. It was history. Jin's two-night run at the Kyocera Dome grossed a jaw-dropping $9.6 million, making it the highest-grossing K-pop solo concert ever at a single venue. To put it simply, no other soloist in K-pop history has done this before. This wasn't just a show, it was a statement. What stunned fans even more was how far the demand went. Every single seat was filled, even the restricted view seats hidden behind the giant scoreboard where you couldn't even see the stage. The top 8th floor, which many didn't even know existed, was packed. In fact, even when BTS performed as a full group, those seats weren't opened. But Jin? He filled them, completely. Fans said it was like the dome itself was breathing with the sound of his music, as if no wall could contain his voice. And the Kyocera Dome was just one stop. From Seoul to Chiba, Osaka to Anaheim, Dallas, Tampa, Newark, London, and Amsterdam, Jin's run. Jin Tour sold out every single show, 18 shows in 9 cities. Billboard reported his earnings at $32.5 million, with an audience of over 217,000 fans. That makes Jin the first Asian soloist ever to break $30 million and surpass 200,000 attendees in Billboard's top tours chart. Think about that. Not a group. Not with 7 members. Just Jin, alone, creating a tidal wave of history. The world took notice. Rolling Stone gave him a rare perfect 5-star rating, calling him unparalleled. Paris Match described his humor and stage presence as a perfect gift to fans. And Forbes, they dug deeper, saying Jin proved he's far more than just a handsome face. His stable vocals, his ability to climb effortlessly into high notes, and the way he controlled the crowd from start to finish, they called him a world-class vocalist. And as if breaking concert records wasn't enough, Jin is rewriting music charts too. His second solo album, Echo, became the first Asian artist song to top Spotify's global chart in 2025. The title track, Don't Say You Love Me, along with every other song on the album, is receiving endless love. Echo stayed in the top 10 of Spotify's global chart for 81 days straight, making it one of the longest-running K-pop hits of all time. That's not just success, that's legacy. But here's where things get even crazier. Jin has been sitting on top of the K-pop individual chart for 83 weeks in a row. Think about that. Nearly 2 years without being dethroned. And on the monthly charts, he's been number 1 for 21 months straight. In just 1 week, he received over 10 million votes. In September alone, he pulled in nearly 39 million. That's not just popularity, that's devotion. Fans aren't just voting, they're showing the world what loyalty looks like. It doesn't stop there. His ads from fan voting campaigns light up places like Gangnam Station, turning entire streets into shrines of his success. His fandom isn't just supporting him, they're moving mountains to make sure the world never forgets his name. Now, as he prepares for the final stop of his journey, the grand finale at the Incheon Munhak Stadium on October 31st and November 1st, the anticipation is at an all-time high. Fans know these shows will be emotional, overwhelming, and unforgettable. For many, it will feel like the end of a chapter, but also the beginning of something greater. From sold-out stadiums to global chart domination, Jin has proven one thing. He is not just a member of BTS, he is a force of his own, a legend being written in real time. The dome shook, the charts bowed, and millions of hearts around the world beat in sync with him. So the question is, when history looks back at this moment, will Jin be remembered as the man who broke every record, or the one who redefined what a soloist in K-pop can truly be? The story isn't over yet. And Jin? He's writing it with every note, every stage, every heartbeat.